Well, this is Friday, another Friday tonic from learnwithjoes. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Josephine, and I anchor learnwithjoes, an academy of knowledge economy. If you're familiar with my YouTube channel, you will know that every Tuesday I teach a course in philosophy of religion, theology, religion. And on Fridays like this, I talk on germane issues, contemporary issues, thriving issues that are very important, that are very critical to our lives, things, issues that can benefit us, that we can make very, very good use of in our daily lives. I call it Friday Tonic. Is to set the tone for your weekend. So here I am again this Friday, setting the tone for your weekend. I want to wish you a wonderful weekend, a fantastic family get together. Enjoy your weekend before work resumes again on Monday, or maybe some of you on special duties like nurses, medical doctor, and other, you still have duties to do. Weekend, I wish you the best of luck. God will continue to renew your energy to be able to do what you are doing in a very wonderful way. This Friday, I want to talk on discipline. Discipline. Discipline, most of us think, it concerns children. What I mean, in toddlers, pre-K children, school age, even up to our children who are in the university, especially if they're under 18, or in some countries, if they're under 16. We want to talk about discipline. Adults too, sometimes can be disciplined. Either they discipline themselves, or they have someone who is older doing it for them. Like if you're still 18 or 16 and you still live with your parents, or in some African countries, if you're still under 21, even if you're over 21 and you still live with your parents, you can't be subjected to discipline. I want to talk today on 5 helpful ways to discipline children. I'm a teacher, and I know there are times it is necessary to discipline children for their benefit, for their good, so that they grow to be responsible adults. They grow to have moral integrity. So discipline is very essential. Discipline is very good. Before I go into the discipline proper, let's join learnwithjoes. We're back. And course, if you're just joining me, I'm just saying that for this Friday tonic, our topic of discussion is on discipline. And discipline concerns all households, which means all of us should be involved in one type or the other of any kind of discipline. And I will be sharing with you this Friday 5 helpful ways to discipline children. And you know me that I love to share PowerPoint presentation. It's so necessary for you to see what I'm talking about. There are a lot of, when you talk about pronunciation, you talk about diction, it varies from culture to culture. And somebody might say, oh, the digital professor says something I can't hear well. But when you can see it in my presentation, you understand better what I'm talking about. And that's the essence of sharing my PowerPoint presentation. Sometimes I let people know that they could take notes by taking the pen or taking the paper. But you don't need to. This is Friday. This is Friday tonic. It's just setting the tone for the weekend. Just talking on something we are all familiar about. Something most parents and guardians do in their homes anyway. But to emphasize the 5 helpful types of discipline. And that is what I'm saying. So hold on while I share my PowerPoint presentation. Hello? You can see I tried to write discipline in several languages so that people will know what I'm talking about. Disciplina and so many other languages that are there. Japan, Korean, Indian, Swahili, Italian language. What discipline means to everyone. So that's what I've just done there. The 5 types of helpful discipline. I'm going to mention the 5 here, and then I will talk about each one of them briefly. The 5 types are behavior modification. Behavior modification, that's the first type. Second, boundary-based discipline. Third, emotion coaching. 4, general discipline. And 5, positive discipline. I haven't put it down in matters of priority or importance, but these are just the 5 basic, very helpful types of discipline. Let's look at the very first one. What is behavior modification? What do we understand by behavior modification as a type of discipline? Behavior modification focuses on positive and negative consequences depending on how whoever wants to administer that discipline uses. It could be positive, it could be negative, the consequences. Good behavior is reinforced with praise or rewards. That is, you say now that if you do this, well, definitely you are going to get this particular reward. I'm going to give you this. Maybe that particular toy that child has been asking for, or maybe that kind of particular eatery that child wants to go to, or something that child has been asking you. Maybe the child has been asking for replacement of his bike or anything, or you just praise him, the person loves praises. So those are the good behavior is reinforced with praise or rewards. Then misbehavior is discouraged through ignoring and negative consequences, like losing privileges. You know, like in pre-K classes in Georgia where I teach, I tell you, there are kind of discipline you cannot measure out to some of those students. But if somebody misbehaves and you have cautioned the person, quietly and things like that, and the person is still doing it for a year old, what you do, you can ignore until you feel left out, and then it comes in and join in, and then you embrace or the person, or repeat what you want the person to do. And some might be like losing privileges at home. Maybe there's a particular thing they have to do, or maybe that person loves to eat a particular type of meal or something. And you say, look, for misbehaving, you are not going to have this. I'm not going to give you this cookie. You are not going to have that chocolate bar until you behave yourself. So that's what we call behavior modification. The second, boundary-based discipline. Boundary-based discipline focuses on setting limits, making the rules clear up front, and making choices and consequences for misbehavior, such as logical or natural consequences. I will refer also to pre-K class in Georgia. You have classroom rules. That is setting limits. And when you're setting these classroom rules, it's done by all. Everybody in a large group, everybody understands, everybody knows. You ask them, okay, let's set our classroom rules. What should be our classroom rules? They all participate in setting classroom rules with the teacher directing them appropriately, rightly. So you have these rules very clear up front. And you make it clear the choices and consequences of misbehavior or not following those rules. And the same thing happens in some homes. If you are not doing that, you can do that. Your unit family is a democratic setup. Don't make it authoritarian. Make it a democratic. Come, let them come together. Have decision, make rules, family rules. Even these family rules could be in print, while one of them can paste it where everybody can read it. For those who cannot read yet, but they can listen, then you spell it out in a family meeting, the family gets together. I want to believe that at least, no matter what, maybe once a week, you have a family dinner where everybody, including the father, the mother, and the children, are sitting on the table for family dinner. Maybe before your family dinner or after, when you are all seated together. You remind yourself of your family rules. And you let them know when you set this limit that anybody who goes against these particular rules that you have made up front, that means you have made a choice, and that choice can lead to consequences, which can be logical or natural consequences. The third one, emotion coaching. Emotion coaching. Emotion coaching is a 5-step discipline process focusing on teaching children about feelings. When children understand their feelings, they can verbalize rather than act on them. Some people misbehave really, or they prove stubborn really because they cannot verbalize words on their feelings. And that is why it's so essential for emotional feelings. You let them know about the feelings. You let them spiral. You let them use your words. Maybe when they are crying for something you don't know, you tell them, please don't cry. Use your mouth. Use your words. Say it out. What's it you want? And when they are able to verbalize their words, they will no longer be stubborn. They will no longer misbehave. Because stubbornness of some people is because they cannot really verbalize their feelings. So that is why the 5-step discipline process focuses on teaching children about their feelings. Let children know about their feelings. Let them understand their feelings and how they can use their words to act on them. The fourth one, generous discipline. Generous discipline. The generous discipline focuses on preventing problems and it isn't about instilling shame. Instead, parents often use humor and distraction. The focus on gentle discipline is on parents managing their own emotions while addressing the child's misbehavior. You can crack a joke, you can crack a kind of distraction in order to calm yourself down even as a parent, rather than yell or shout. Some children, they do not just like being shouted on. They don't like it. It puts fear in them. When you shout on them as a child, it puts fears in them. And rather than verbalize their words, they draw to themselves. And that then makes them more to misbehave. So that's all about gentle discipline. And the fifth one, positive discipline. Positive discipline is based on praise and encouragement, and it uses family meetings and a dependable approach to addressing behavioral problems. I mentioned earlier on about families having family meetings. Make your own a kind of democratic home. Let there be family meetings, a minimum once a week. It could be at the weekend, it could be during the week. Set a time, a weekday or a weekend, where you all come together and have a family meeting. I remember in my time, my father, very democratic father, he calls all of us. There's nothing secret. He's not going to call you aside. Even if you misbehave and you are the eldest, the youngest in the family we know, because he's going to discuss everything. And if you're the youngest, discuss it with everybody. So that everybody learns from it. They know what they're not supposed to do. And that is why positive discipline is there. It can be dependable and it's addressed because it uses praise and encouragement and it's good. It might not give reward, not necessarily every time you need to give reward as a positive discipline, something, but you need to praise. You need to praise somebody who has done well, who has misbehaved, somebody who has misbehaved, who will be disciplined. There is somebody who has behaved properly, should be praised. You praise such a person so others can learn from that and then behave correctly so that they know too when they do something right, they get praise for it. There are three important keys that I'm going to mention. I call them important 3 key points, and I want you to take this back with you as I round up this short brief on discipline this Friday. The first one is discipline is about helping children learn how to behave. Do not let us spare the rod because you think, oh, if I did, I don't want to discipline. No, you have to discipline your children. You can use any of those 5 mentioned earlier on, but you need to discipline your children. So it's about helping them learn how to behave. Secondly, discipline works best if you have warm and loving relationships with your children. Do not be far. Let your children be your friends. Some parents, they want to push what they are supposed to do as a parent to the teachers. Teachers have their roles in molding children to behave properly, to act properly. But parents and guardians, they also have their roles. Children, especially from 4-year-olds, they have to be independent. Teach them to enjoy to be independent, to do things themselves. Setting out rules for them to know what to do and what not to do, how to behave properly and not how to behave. And if you set it right from that age, from 4 years, you can enjoy your children as they grow older, because they will have imbibed those rules in their life. So parents need to be loving. And that is why in a house where domestic violence thrives, you find it difficult to discipline those children. Because this is not do as I tell you. This will now be do as I do. Because the children are watching you. They are looking at you. They are viewing everything. Like in a movie, what happens in a home. So discipline works best if you have warm and loving relationship with your children and you have a very lovely home where violence is totally absent, when there is zero tolerance for any kind of violent acts. And the third key point I want you to take home this Friday: for toddlers and older children, discipline means setting limits and consequences and encouraging good behavior. When you discipline them, you're setting limits for them and you're encouraging good behavior. Thank you for joining me this Friday. I hope I've set a good tone for your weekend. So I just want to say, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend and continue to discipline appropriately your children. As parents, as guidance, please keep a lovely home. Bye.